So today we have Michelle on. Michelle is one of our CEO clients who's done extremely well in the program.
Thanks for having me.
It's all right. She's not come from far, by the way. I know she sounds like she's from somewhere more exotic, but she's only come from Loughborough.
Only come from Loughborough. I'm originally from Portugal.
Yeah, but she's only driving from Loughborough, so it's nothing that special.
All right.
You have to go home and fly in, and then it will be like a big thing.
I'll do that next time, just on purpose. I'll fly to Portugal and then come back.
Perfect. Then we can say we've flown you in, and it will make us
a lot better.
Tell us a little bit about your background and your business.
Nice. Obviously, thanks for having me. My name is obviously Michelle Ortega, and I'm the owner and founder of Ortega Performance. So I guess I'll tell a little bit more about how it started. But it started all the way in Portugal. I was a basketball player, so I played sport all my life. And it was a day where I had a trial out, basically, to get a scholarship. So they were doing trials out down in Lisbon. So I went to there, and then essentially I got a scholarship to come play basketball in the UK, in Nottingham Academy. So then I did my A-levels, I played there, and that's where that passion for S&C began, which is what I specialize in. Like, I coach everyday athletes to help them become more athletic, lean, using our unique system, the Unbreakable everyday athlete, kind of like you.
It's almost like you say it all the time.
Almost like I say it all the time. But basically, I came to the UK by myself, left everyone behind. I just wanted to be a pro basketballer. So my background is I was an athlete, and that's what I wanted to do. I wanted to be pro. Then from there, I lived and breathed basketball, and I really was into sport. I went to Loughborough University. I did sports science as my degree. And obviously, I went to Loughborough because they had a great basketball team. So I still live in Loughborough, so I've never left. So I went to Loughborough and I played first team there. And from that first team, I had an amazing S&C coach, and that's where it sparked my interest. But what happened was, when I got to second year, I was diagnosed with a condition called spondyloarthritis. So that essentially I couldn't play. So every time I used to go on court, I had this pain. So I went to physio, tried everything, got an MRI, blood test, and then they said, there's no cure. This is when I was 21. I had stopped playing basketball, and I basically had like a little bit of an identity crisis. I remember being sat and just be like, I couldn't sit, I couldn't stand, I couldn't walk, I couldn't do anything. I would just be in pain. And I was like, this can't be the end. Like, this is my life. And then from there, I researched so much, and I found something called it's going to sound really voodoo, but it worked. It's something called biomagnetic science, which essentially says that the body has alkaline and acidic environments. And I just went to this doctor that specialized in it, and he said, stop taking anti-inflammatories, because I was anti-inflammatories for 2 years. I was anemic. It was shattered. And I was like, stop taking them and change your diet. And then, I was like, I have nothing else to lose. It's been 2 years. And then I did that, and I've been healed ever since. So it was crazy. So I healed ever since, and that's why I started Ortega Performance, is because I was at a point where I didn't see an end, and I was broken. And then I wanted to show it. I don't play competitive anymore because I still can't play continuous every single day. Mm-hmm. So I just play for fun. And I wanted to show people that no matter where you're at, you can still play for fun and enjoy sport, which is it's a bit of a long one, but that's how I started Ortega Performance. And with that, whilst I was doing all of that, I did 5 years of unpaid internships as well as S&C. So I worked with Sussex Cricket, I worked for Lawn Tennis Academy in Loughborough, Loughborough football women's team, university, and Leicester Riders as well. And yeah, I did do another business internship before you. I guess then it got into years of, right, I want to start my online coaching business. So I have a hybrid model. So I do both online and in person. I always have, even though Vicky would kill me and wanted to kill me. You guys wanted me to go online.
It's kind of just what you want. I think
that's changed over time.
Yeah.
For you guys as well. I don't know. That's what I found.
Just you didn't want to do it, did you?
No, I didn't. But the reason was because it's truly my passion. And I still have a lot of clients which are, for example, youth athletes that want to be pro. So I do have a bit of that, and they're youth. They're not going to do an online program. But some of them, they do hybrid. So it's purely hybrid. But I did another business internship, and it just didn't work out because they didn't really recognize my niche. And that was the one thing that you guys did very, very well. And they were like, no, like, you can have your own specific niche. But every time I asked a question, it was group training as well. I didn't like it. That's why I entered CEO, because I like the one-to-one element to it.
But what were the individual struggles in the business, do you think, like before you started? Like,
Yeah, so I was working too many hours and not getting the results that I wanted. I didn't have a system. So the first struggle was I didn't have automations. So no automations, no onboarding, none of that. I didn't have lead gen at all. And lead generation essentially is how to create conversations within social media. And I didn't have a good content strategy at all. So those three things, I was just focusing a lot on fulfillment. And I wasn't being a true CEO, if that makes sense. Like, I had to realize what I wanted to do, but those were my biggest struggles.
what was that causing in the business? Like, obviously your time was short, but like, how was that actually affecting the day-to-day running of the business?
So the quality wasn't there that I wanted because I was so focused on, right, I got to onboard someone, right, I got to write a program, right, I got to create this content. So it was not just affecting my business, but my life as well. Like, I didn't have the freedom that I wanted. It was affecting my relationships. And because it was just a grumpy Michelle at the end of the day, that all I did was talk about business, but I was running myself into the ground. So the way it worked was I reached out first to the first internship, and I was doing that whilst I was doing my internship. And they taught me a little bit of the things that we have, but it was not enough to take me like up a notch. I was completely undercharging as well. I was still on 150, 170. That's all I knew. And then once I started digesting your content, which was like a year in, and then I had a gap where I had nothing, I knew I wanted to go again because I'm very big on investing. And, just whatever I invest in you guys, I made a maths the other day, I've already 10x that. So it's so worth it. But I just needed that guidance. But in terms of struggles, I was undercharging, and therefore I wasn't able to provide that level of accountability. No lead gen, so I kept constantly trying to message people on the week and trying to get, calls booked. And that was it. It was running my life to the ground. I wasn't getting the results, and the clients always wanted my attention, and I couldn't give it to them because obviously what I do, S&C specialist, it's quite in depth.
Yeah, it's heavy. Like, obviously I've done your program myself, and I can't imagine doing that with 100 people.
That's
like,
what I'm saying.
You'd fall apart.
Well, that's what was my life.
Yeah. So you did it. You tried.
Yes.
You tried. Sometimes I think you need to make the mistake sometimes, because people probably would have said like, you should probably charge a bit more for that. And you're like, no, it's fine.
I was told that before I started, but all I needed was onboarding call with you, and you said, charge this. And I don't know, something inside me was like, I'm going to do it. And then I did it. And then from that point, I think I've reached a point where I'm very happy. I don't turn around and say, okay, I need to be charging more, because I was panicking. I was like, my time and everything. But now I'm pretty happy with my price point, and I have an onboarding process. Shout out to Joe, because I keep annoying him.
Joe's brilliant, yeah. Automations
with you guys. And to be fair, one that really took everything to the next level was my sales calls. Just Vicky obviously was my one-to-one coach, and she really delved into help me through that. And I was already kind of confident. I just needed, the moment I started following what you guys advise, I had no problems in charging the price, because I knew my worth half of the time. So it was quite easy.
So you kind of went into it a little bit there already, but like, what were the three like main strategies and shifts that you implemented that like have really helped things move forward?
So number one, I actually did my onboarding and everything. So I automated everything. That took away so much time, as in gave me back the time, not just for my life, but for my business. So I can clearly think and actually have time for myself as well. Because I kind of started having less and less time for myself. And I'm a big believer of health. I promote that. I have to be a role model to that. So that's the first one, automations. The second one was lead gen. So actually tracking, I wasn't doing anything. And I hired obviously a VA, and he's been amazing. We're having quite a lot of conversations now, and that has been a game changer for me. So that was the second one. And the third one was just upskilling my knowledge on sales and understanding people, like psychology and how it works. Because it sounds a bit weird, but I'm a very confident human being, I think, in general. So I didn't have a problem in believing in my program. I just didn't know how to put that into practice and show that to the world, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So in the sales call, for example, when I was speaking to you, I was like, this is too easy because I know what you've been like. I saw your knees. They're messed up. They're fucked up. I know where you need to go.
Sorry, hang on a minute.
They're plastic.
Gonna make me self-conscious about my knees here. My scars are actually very neat, I'll have you know.
You're like, well, but I knew. And I said, right, do you want to play ball? And you said, yeah. I was like, right, this is what you need to do. Cool. I did that, been there, done that. So it was very easy to do that. And it's just those 3 things is what I did, really.
Talk me through how your onboarding process looks now then. Like, how does it all work?
Slick. So
Better be good now then if you're using the word slick.
Slick. You should have received it. If you haven't,
yeah, I don't read the onboarding emails.
Oh, there you go. That's what I mean. Maybe it's not that good as
I've been around the block too many times with too many online coaches. Me, I just
speak to Joe again. Joe, if you're listening. So it's split into 4 different days. So I've just split the chunks of information so it doesn't overwhelm the client. So that's the first one. I have split into nutrition, training, and now I have like a welcome pack where what was happening was, and this was why onboarding was a game changer. Everyone was asking me questions individually. And then I was like, right, let me just create a big thing so to answer the questions. And every time they have a question, it's like, now I can direct them, which obviously I knew that, but it was implementing and actually like the fact that you guys have templates is everything like, just do that. I saved so much time of my life, which I'm happy to do that because that's what life was not made to. I'm not a graphic designer, you know. I'd rather just get stuff done. So that's the first one. And then I have videos as well. So kind of like this style, I videoed everything. So a lot more professional, which is for my business and that how I am. I'm very attention to detail. So I pride myself of high quality. I always have. So the quality is good. So that was the second one. So some videos. And then the third bit was just explaining everything to set an expectation where down the line, the fulfillment is not a problem or the check-ins. So half the people have those problems, right? People don't complete the check-in. So like the expectation is there set. So that's what I did. It's all via email and then just automatically that put on the app that I run and it's just amazing.
When you first automate something, you're like, oh my God, I didn't realize how much time this is going to save me. Because you think it's not that big of a deal, don't you? Because you were probably the same when you started. When I started my coaching business, it was like, all right, cool. I'm going to send one big email with all the stuff on it. Yeah. And then you still get the questions and you're like, nobody's reading that email. Right, what am I going to do? And then I'm going to break it down into 3 emails. But then when you start signing up clients, you fucking forget, don't you? You're like, right, they've emailed 1, shit, email 2. Email 2 is going to be a Saturday. I'm not here on Saturday.
Exactly.
Fuck, I'm going to have to bring my laptop with me.
Yes.
And that's like the worst bit of like starting out as an online coach, that like fear that you can't be more than like 2 yards away from your laptop in case like you forget something. Oh, I forgot to send the email. Right, it's all right, I've got my laptop, I can do it. It's like a fucking safety blanket that you carry with you.
I remember because I was still, when I first started, I was still doing Leicester Rider. So I used to have like a 7 a.m. practice. I used to coach practice, sit down, like, need to send my check-ins or onboarding. I was like, I need to change this at some point.
Yeah, but not now because I've got to actually get it done. Yeah.
But yeah, but also, as you say, when you wait too long for an onboarding, people then get scared of the decision. And Vicky's going to laugh at this. When I signed up with you guys, on that same day, I went home and I was crying. I was like, did I just mess up?
Did you nearly bottle it?
I didn't bottle it. I was going to do it anyways, but I was scared as hell. So I'm not the person that bottles it up. I would never, but I knew I had to. Yeah. But it was a scary decision because it was a lot. It's a lot of money, but it's so worth it.
Yeah, it's that initial, the onboarding for me like really helps with that initial process of being like, I don't know, when you get something good, like if you get like I'm cool with coaching. So like, I don't need anything fancy. If I pay someone, I know I'm paying them for the knowledge. I've paid coaches before where they WhatsApp me a training program and I'm absolutely fine with it because I get it. Most people don't get it. So like when they pay, £1,000, £2,000 for a program and like then nothing happens and they're like, yo, like when do I start?
Yeah.
And you're like, next Monday. And they're like, all right, cool.
And then they don't sign the contract.
What do I do before then? And they're like, just wait. I'm like, right, sound. And then they're like, what do I do this weekend? And then that's when it all starts to like fall apart in it. But like when you when you have a good onboarding and like things come through and there's like a nice professional document and a video, you're like, oh my God, it's not a scam. I'm all right. And then like people's partners, I think as well, like they go, look at this, like, look what I've got through it. Cause like
that's true.
Charlotte like has had a few online coaches and like.
Has she?
Has he? She's working with Lydia now, funnily enough. But like, obviously,
Nice.
Lydia's onboarding is proper. So like, Charlotte was like, "Look, I've got all these videos. I know what I'm doing." And I'm
Nice.
like, "Oh, that's what it must look like for clients, like when they get that excited about it." Because then before, like the girl she had before was a bit shit. No offense, she might be listening to this, but like,
All right.
it was just a bit like, "Oh yeah, right, cool. I'll see you on Monday for the first thing."
Yeah.
And then Charlotte was like, "Oh, what do I do
Not
before
impressed.
then?"
Not impressed.
Yeah.
Especially if you're dating a fitness.
I was like,
Expert.
"You need some help." So yeah, your onboarding was one. What would the second one be?
Lead gen and my setter, and he's definitely watching this because I know he binges inches your content. He's amazing, and it was just having literally tracking. It's not that fancy. I just tracked. I wasn't tracking. Now I track, and now I know where I'm going wrong. But also, there's a lot of the training element to it. So I actually understood it by coach and training. My setter as well. Essentially, I wasn't really. I don't even have that many followers. Like I have like 2,000 just recently.
You know what? I figured that out last night because obviously I know your business numbers, and I'm like, hang on a minute, how the fuck does she make that much money on that many? Like, it's actually not that, but you're just really good with your niche, though, aren't you? Like,
Untapped potential. Genuinely, I don't even my content is still not where I want it to be. Like, I don't have 100K followers or anything like that.
She ain't no Carl.
I'm not a Carl. I'm looking at Carl. I'm not a Carl. I looked at Carl when you were saying 10K. I was turned around. I was like, what? I went to follow. But it's not that. It's about talking to the people that want help. And my passion has always been to help people unlock their full potential. And they're getting that. And that's what matters. And when I post a piece of content, people are like, I love your content. And I'm like, yay. You're watching it. And that's what I relate. But I just talk to someone for a long period of time because I actually care about what they're going through. And for example, when I messaged you, it was like Vicky actually said, because you posted something about basketball.
You got hold of my number as well, and I don't know who gave it you, but
it was in the group chat.
It came. She got hold of my WhatsApp, and like I posted something, and she's fucking in my WhatsApp inbox. I'm like, how the fuck has she got my personal number? She's like, hi, want help with your knees? And I'm like, well, yeah, I do.
No, you don't.
Clever.
That's not true. You were objecting quite heavily at the beginning. You were saying, like, oh no, I have to work with a knee specialist. And I was like, I was not even trying though. Do you thought I was? But I was not expecting you to even, I was not expecting. So
I
I'm
like to
that
give
good.
people a chance.
So I told Vicky and Shannon, I was like, I'm of course done.
Lead gen master now.
Yeah, I am.
Lead gen Jedi.
I hope that answered the question. I go a bit on a tangent.
No, it's fine. And then, so actually tracking the lead gen, I think for you.
Oh, CRM.
Oh, the CRM.
I use CRM now. Just about. So this is something I'm implementing now. CRM is like a system. I don't know how to explain it properly, but essentially automates.
It's just a piece of software that we give the coaches, isn't it? That
to automate. So for training my setter and for clarity, and for example, you used to have a lot of calls before because my sales were not there, so I didn't close them, and I forgot to just.
Huge.
Of course. So just that, half alone. One day I did that and I got like 5 calls booked in. And I was like, oh, is that easy? So yeah, that was the second thing that I did was lead gen.
What would you say the final thing was?
So it was sales. So actually going through and having a presentation. And
Your presentation is actually very good. I've seen it.
Thank you. I appreciate it. See, that's why you should try and, if you want a sneak peek of it, let me know. But yeah, I actually understood because I was so confident in my program and my program quality improved. I was able to improve my sales because of that, if that makes sense. So the third one was just improving on sales doing and not being scared of failing. Yeah. Really is the third thing that I did.
So what kind of results has that given you in your business now?
How much detail are we going?
You can say whatever you feel comfortable.
Results for the business itself. I'm actually I have 40 clients. So for me, I've never had that many clients before. Like the results that I get is amazing, and the type of people that I'm working with, I enjoy. I really do, because they're all everyday athletes. And if you you kind of helped me create that definition, but just someone who enjoys sport or wants to perform their best in like an activity like high rocks or anything that they do. Whereas before, at the beginning when I started, I was trying to get some fat loss clients, and I was like, yeah, great, it's a bit boring. It's not who I am. Yeah. I can't relate to you. I can't relate. So that's improved. My quality of life has improved because I'm not working 80 hours, probably working like 60. So that's, and obviously in terms of income, I've never thought I would be earning the amount that I am. I'm not even sure. I don't know. Is it okay to disclose?
Yeah,
God
knock
knows.
yourself
Probably
out.
not.
I
don't know.
forgot how much you earn, to be honest.
You forgot how much you earn?
No, I forgot how much you earn. I know exactly how much I earn. To the penny. I'm still from North Manchester. I know every penny that goes in and out of my bank account.
It's to the penny. Obviously, like I've been hitting consistent plus 10K months for the last 6 months. So just do the maths.
It's a lot though.
So I'm happy with that. But the reason I'm happy with that is not because of the money, is because the quality is there and they deserve it and they're getting a high premium service. But I'm also, for me, the 2 reasons I even wanted to start coaching was so I could have freedom to travel. And I love traveling, and I go to Portugal, to Spain. I'm going again in 2 weeks. I'm going to Argentina, and I'm still able to work, and my clients are happy, see results, and I'm able to travel. But also, I'm a very family person and relationships. So obviously, I've been with my partner, and he was kind of going nuts on me and a little bit. He probably won't admit it, but I knew, and you know that something had to change. And that's why I got so upset on that first day, because I was like, I knew that was going to be transformational for my life as well. So yeah, those are like impacted me positively in so many ways, and I couldn't thank you guys enough, obviously.
Oh.
But I'm still just tapped the surface, though. I just feel my content. I'm gonna get to 100K. You just wait. So yeah, there's still a lot of untapped potential that you wouldn't think, but half the people just think, "Oh, I've tried it before. It's not gonna work." But that's just you were scarred before, but that doesn't mean you can't work in the future, and just invest in yourself, because knowledge is what you should be looking for.
So for people that are maybe struggling, I think probably your main thing was being able to make your niche work.
Yes.
I think
yes.
like one of the things that obviously we knew when you came in was like you'd been kind of shoved down the fat loss road, because fat loss is easier to sell apparently. And you obviously was nowhere near what you wanted to be doing, like not even close. So like for maybe the more performance sports-based people that have a bit more of a passion in something that's not get abs kind of situation, what advice would you give to them about like what to do with their business?
First of all, sit down and figure out, don't lie to yourself, and figure out who do you like in coaching. So that's the first thing. You need to understand who you're talking to, and don't let for me it was other internships or business mentor tell you that there's only one size fits all, because that's what they did to me. They turned around and they said, "Oh, I have a question about S&C." I was like, "Oh, we do fat loss. I don't know, figure it out." I was like, "Great." So don't listen to that. You can make it work. And then the second bit is, don't be scared to implement things like lead generation, sales, because that was a game changer. You need to get obviously help. I would sign up if you haven't already.
Yeah, but imagine they're not working with us. Like, what advice would you give them, like, to just do themselves?
Do themselves. I would first set up all of your systems. You need to set up your systems. You need to understand who your niche is and your content. So those are 2 things I would do. First, set up your niche, then set up your onboarding, everything. You have to have that, because if you're not fat loss, you're probably S&C, right? Or in that area. Straight away, in order just to be an S&C, you already have to have a little bit more knowledge and understanding than the average fat loss guy. So you already can price a little bit higher just from that. So make sure you get that. That will save you loads of time. So the third thing would be to have themed days. So have like a check-in day, have a day where you do your content, have a day where you do your in-person PT clients or not. So that's what I would do, because that was a game changer.
Like blocking out your time.
Exactly. Yeah.
Cool. Thank you very much. And if you are a coach that's, wanting to work with a particular kind of person, and you feel like you're not sure how to set it up, you're not sure how to sell it, you're not sure how to maybe turn it into something that is online, we can actually help you with that for nothing. All you need to do is just click the link below. That'll book you a free business consultation with one of our team. And all they'll do literally is go through your business model, kind of talk to you about who you want to work with, how you could potentially set that up, what the model looks like, what the marketing could look like. Okay. And then you can kind of go away with a plan of action of some next steps, what you need to do. So if you want to book in one of those, all you need to do is click the link below. That'll give you access to the calendar. It's only like 10, 15 minutes. It's a bit of an informal chat. And you can get some help with it there.
Do it.